London, and welcome to Royalty Bloopers. I'm Neil Ashdown, and you'll be seeing plenty more of those faces, and a few more besides, as we take you on a guided tour of the wackiest, the most fantastic, and the downright silliest side of the British monarchy. Behind me sits the most famous home of Queen Elizabeth and her family, Buckingham Palace. So called because it's a palace. But as befits a queen, she also owns several other palaces and assorted castles, one or two country estates, and come to think of it, one or two countries. But wherever they go, the royals always open their doors to greet the cream of society in glittering occasions conducted under a strict rule of etiquette. And that's just the first pick of our royal bloopers. The royals love their horses. They race them, they ride them, and they breed them. They have their state carriages pulled by horses. They have their soldiers mounted on horses. They even go hunting for foxes on them. Thus, they go hunting for foxes on horses, not on soldiers. They don't get carried around piggyback style on soldiers anymore. Not since the horrible incident where a guardsman broke his leg and they had to have him shot. That's not true, actually. But they do love their horses. As the old song goes, a four-legged friend, he'll never let you down. Not.
No classic race in England would be complete without the Queen, who owns a string of horses. Not content with just entering these, she's also encouraged Charles to have a go. That's him with the red shirt. And the red nose. Who said royal blood was blue? Let's see if Sister Anne can do any better.
Premier Charlie is third, not the Her Royal Highness Princess Anne.
Oh yes! Yes, she can! But then she put in more practice. Notice how her loyal servants rush forward to help the horse. And listen to this commentary from a real expert.
Beautifully balanced, beautifully controlled, a nice approach. Oh no! Down they go. Oh, what bad luck.
It takes something altogether more moving to bring a tear to Her Majesty's eye.
You know that I haven't watched from a pair of binoculars for ages. Look at it. Pouring with tears. Oh dear. I always watch on the television. It's the emotion. No, I watch on the television. No, Mummy, you can look into the wind like that. It's like looking at a deer. It's like looking at a deer.
Yes, there is something missing, Philip. Big animal, 4 legs.
Many congratulations.
Kind of. Thank you very much. What do I get?
Well, you get £16.
£16.
£16 winning.
Right, now, it's probably best to explain that the reason the Queen didn't recognise her own British currency is because she never carries money. So she wouldn't recognise it, would she? So for the record, this is a £10 note, and this, Your Majesty, is a picture of you! It's a picture of you! Look here! A picture of you!
Now, here's Lady Diana looking at a small collection of paint tins. No wonder she looks so fascinated. She's in the London Airport customs shed and about to witness a demonstration of how they use a sniffer dog to search for smuggled drugs. The stash is concealed somewhere in a blue case. Job well done. And with one command from his master, the dog does exactly what he likes. The big problem with sniffer dogs is they often develop a serious suitcase addiction. In fact, this one really does get quite high on them. Things could be worse, of course. Imagine if the dog had found the stuff hidden in someone's trousers.
By the way, that dog lost his job at the airport customs, and he's now a baggage handler. Get off! Get off!
You see, the trouble with animals is that they behave like, well, animals. As the Queen steps out to inspect yet another row of foreigners in funny hats, there's one important detail still needs attending to. Preparing a succulent lunch. After that tasty lunch, you might imagine Her Majesty saying,
"You know what I'd like now? A penguin parade."
and a penguin parade she shall have.
Now, the royal family are only human after all, but the pageantry of the state occasion is usually only associated with a measured decorum that ensures that everything runs like clockwork. Usually. In this age of jets and almost routine space travel, the Queen still prefers to run her own private train, comprising a royal locomotive, hauling a royal Pullman carriage, and of course she has her royal tender behind. Now, one of the problems with rail travel is noise pollution, as her then daughter-in-law, Sarah, Duchess of York, discovered.
Yeah, I'm going to get it in quite quick. The next intercity is coming through quite quick too. The reason why I'm standing here is because on behalf of everybody here today, I really want to say and also got together and supported. And are now going to officially declare the naming of, I was going to say declare open, officially declare that the naming of the train will be, the naming of the train will be,
Now, while Fergie sometimes finds herself lost for words, Charles has no such problem. In fact, he'll talk to practically anything.
About that long? Well, it's lovely to meet you too. So you haven't seen my little dog anywhere, have you, at all? Oh, I'll try that, yes. Look, I told you before, if you want to borrow the car, you ask first. And, I might have known like that. I've been looking everywhere for that watch. What? A talking parrot? Told you to steal it? What's the matter with you today, You think I'm stupid or something? Think I'm stupid?
Don't took your watch. Don't took your watch. You look stupid.
Yes, I'd like this bird arrested. He's a criminal mastermind.
What's the time?
Seriously, he took my watch, you see. You see, he's nervous, you see. He thinks he's going to get arrested. Well, you can laugh, but my dog told me, you see, so it must be true. He got it off a horse.
Now, it isn't often that Charles is lost for words.
Oh, hello, Your Royal Highness. I'm delighted to meet you.
But it isn't often he's presented with the front end of Babe, the talking pig.
Good old Prince Charles, forever the babe magnet. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why am I suddenly wearing a hat? Well, what is it about the royals and hats? Wherever they go, they're greeted by loyal subjects sporting a variety of interesting headgear, but not always on their heads.
At the school children's display, pretty blonde Margaret Buttle, 15, captain of Wollongong High School, was chosen to make a speech of welcome. The gusty 20-mile-an-hour southerly was embarrassing. Nevertheless, Margaret was equal to the occasion. But it's a little more difficult for the Duke. Margaret couldn't hold the speech and her hat, so left the hat to the elastic.
That's what held the British Empire together, an elastic band. Here are Diana and Charles on one of those hilarious factory walkabouts, wearing safety helmets to protect them from... Well, no, let's be honest. It's to prove they're on a factory walkabout and they have to look as if they're serious about it. Safety helmets may not be the height of fashion, but at least they stay on. Now, what is it about this particular factory outing that Diana is finding so amusing? This is Charles and Diana during the great elastic band shortage of 1985. So what exactly is it that she's laughing so uproariously about? Well, it turns out that Diana has decided Charles in a safety hat looks exactly like a boiled egg. It seems wherever the royals go, there are hats. And wherever they go, they always seem to blow off. Luckily, on this occasion, the Queen planned ahead and has the hat retrieval barge magisterial in attendance. Her Majesty's crew leap into action with the holder pursuivant of the Royal Pole Armorial dipping his special tool into the water. So it's hats off to another successful hat retrieval operation. And what vital work they do. Back at the factory, Diana is still struggling to keep a straight face.
Boiled egg, safety helmet. Safety helmet, boiled egg. Safety helmet, boiled egg. Oh, well, you can see where there might be some confusion, can't you? Now, Prince Charles doesn't just open factories, you know. Oh, no, he has many other skills as well. He's an excellent polo player. He enjoys action sports. And, of course, he's very good at driving fast cars. What he's not renowned for, of course, is his sense of rhythm. But why let a little detail like that stop you from doing something very, very simple like, oh, I don't know, playing the drums?
What Charles's drumming lacks in quality, he makes up for in quantity by hitting every drum in the set completely at random.
Seems to be the way of it. One sticking in the other. Or sometimes you can use the same one twice like this. Use this. Bang, bang, bang. Single, yes. Left hand, right hand. Yeah, Phil Collins, eat your heart out, eh? Bang, bang. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
Well, perhaps his sense of rhythm is more at home on the dance floor. Maybe not. But, you know, he's not bad at the ballroom. But hey, Charles, how's your Latin American? Not quite so hot, but at least his mum likes it. But then again, she's probably never seen him body popping. Now, carried away by the hypnotic rhythm of the samba beat, what does Charles do? You guessed it. The Charleston. The Prince of Charleston. Little wonder Charles looks so out of place on the full Monty set. This is an employment office, where you go to get employment. Well, perhaps he didn't see the film. But what happened to that suave, elegant man we saw on the dance floor earlier? Well, this is what happened. He had a triple coordination bypass operation. Let's see that move again.
I see, this is cosy. Ooh, lovely, yes. Oh, good. Hope he doesn't put that up there again. Ooh.
Now, the functions our royal family is most frequently asked to perform tend to be official unveilings, generally opening things, well, whatever it is, it involves a ribbon and a pair of scissors. And very good they are at it too, in public at least. In private, well, the story goes that the Queen received her mail one morning at Buckingham Palace and spent 2 hours looking for a letter opener before she realised it was his day off. Now, unveiling statues and plaques and launching ships can prove to be quite tricky. Imagine pulling the sheet off this one.
I just want to add my heartfelt congratulations to all those who've been part of this very hard-working team. It was done it rather quicker than I expected.
Here's Diana with her complete boat launching kit: scissors, ribbon and bottle. There is, of course, more than one way to break open a bottle of bubbling. You can hire a man with a special champagne hammer to do it for you. Or you can have more fun doing it by yourself. It's true, the royal family really does know how to push the boat out. Now, this next boat is to be launched by Princess Michael.
It gives me great pleasure to name this ship.
She does know exactly the emergency procedure you need if the launch goes wrong. Yes, say ooh and wave a hand in the air, that's it. Now, let's take a look at a few more ceremonial hitches. So let's see Royalty Bloopers' top 3 unveilings in reverse order. At number 3, it's Queen Elizabeth for her wonderful, if at first you don't succeed, get someone else to do it routine. And at number 2, for her lifetime achievement in the field of pulling curtains, it's everyone's favourite, the Queen Mother. She's 98, you know. But at number 1, it's Prince Charles with his "Can I take this nice blanket home for a souvenir?"
This is St Paul's Cathedral, built after the original was destroyed in 1666 in the Great Fire of London. It's a magnificent building and it's played host to a number of glittering royal occasions, including the marriage of Prince Charles to Lady Diana Spencer. Now, listen out for Diana, who, perhaps overcome by the occasion, seems to forget exactly who she is marrying.
I, Diana Francis,
I, Diana Francis,
take thee, Charles Philip Arthur George,
take thee, Philip Charles Arthur George,
to my wedded husband. I pronounce that they be man and wife together.
Some junior royals try and kill the boredom by reading the programme upside down, enjoying a relaxing nose massage, or checking for concealed weapons. When her turn came to get married, Sarah, Duchess of York, did actually manage to get her husband's name right.
Take the Andrew Albert Christian Edward.
Several times, in fact.
my wedded husband.
Having joined the royal club, Princess Diana went on to discover what a fun time can be had at official dinners. And that she wasn't alone in having trouble with names.
Well, our great happiness that we have been able to have this affair with Princess David.
Now, anyone can have trouble trying to find the right, what are they called, those things? Words, that's it. Especially when confronted by the glare of publicity and the attentions of the press. And the royal family is no exception. However, each one knows exactly the right reaction to every photo opportunity, especially the kids.
Faced with the marauding pack of paparazzi, see how the second in line to the British throne responds with customary royal restraint.
Go on. That's lovely. We'll do that again, good news, will you? That's great.
Now, here is the perfect royal photo opportunity. On the front balcony of Buckingham Palace, we see Fergie, there's Diana, and Princess Anne, she's there, and a nice old man who wandered in off the street, and all the royal kids, except one. Meet the little princesses, Beatrice and Eugenie. Mother Fergie, she's the taller of the three, by the way, is famous for the frequency of her winter sports holidays. Now, if you look, young Eugenie is on the right there, while young Beatrice is on the ground. Oh, hello. The little kid is back. While young Beatrice cooks up a cunning plan to shake her mother off. Most boys play air guitar, but air trombone? Oh dear. Still haven't got the hang of this walking thing then. Yep, that's enough now, thank you. What do you do for the nice army? Good boy.
Hi, girls.
The one thing you can say for the good old royal family, you'll never, never, ever, ever catch them sitting down on the job. But when it came to kids, you had to hand it to Diana. And take it away from Princess Anne. This little girl wants her basket back. At least they put down some fresh straw for her. Which is something Prince Charles is rather more reluctant to do. This frankly quite gratuitous clip is only here so that I can say, this is the heir to the throne watching a girl being thrown to the air. Hurrah! And that joke was a favourite of Charles, the first. But Charles is normally happy to accept these bookings. The royals have a need to be recognised.
The Queen Mother.
Good guess.
But that doesn't always guarantee a warm welcome.
Now, once a year, the Queen officially opens Parliament in the building behind me, the Palace of Westminster. It's a fantastic state occasion. But before she can enter the chamber, she is challenged by a man called Black Rod, who wears a big floppy hat, a velvet tunic, black silk stockings, and he walks backwards. Now, once she's got past him, she can then deliver the Queen's speech. That's speech, not peach. The Queen delivering soft fruit to Parliament is frankly a ridiculous notion. Mind you, if you think that ceremony sounds a bit silly, try taking a look at some of these.
Meet the Queen's youngest son, Prince Edward. He's the one on the right, not in a skirt. These friendly greetings take all shapes and sizes, including the ever-popular Spanish flamenco dance. So popular, our Queen and the King of Spain can hardly contain their indifference. Perhaps Mr. Shouty can wake her up a bit. Not impressed, Mom? Then how about these? Then there's the headdress ceremony, when the private school and Cambridge University educated English gentleman discovers his North American native roots. Dig that crazy rhythm, Charles.
Left leg, left leg, right leg.
And what royal greeting worth the name would be complete without the stick your head in someone's butt parade? Hey, I know, let's go nose rubbing! Now, here's a treat for all of you who enjoy a bit of communal sword waving. Apparently, this is considered a great honour in that neck of the woods. Charles may look a bit silly, but at least he didn't have to be greeted by the men whose heads are flower pots. Poor Princess Anne. A small cake for a hat and an official royal greeter who thinks he's a giant pea.
Olivier, Gielgud, Hopkins. All these great names have graced the stages of the Royal National Theatre here on London's South Bank. But Prince Charles and Prince Edward never made the list, and I can't think why.
There is a manic depression over Ireland with associated troughs of hay presto. An obsession under Sweden may develop or be relieved by a warm front. Behind that will come a cold back. Whatever comes next.
Now here's Charles looking for a different comic angle.
Here I am, showing just how adaptable the sports commentator can be. All alone.
Now, it's important in amateur dramatics never to overact. Don't overact. Don't overact. Oh dear, too late. You remember we decided Charles isn't the world's greatest actor? Well, compared to his little brother...
When you speak, my sweet, I'd have you do it ever. And when you sing...
A performance first and foremost described as timeless, with hopeless and useless coming a close second and third.
Oh, to sing them too.
See, it's a perfectly simple instrument to play. Now, William Shakespeare wrote All the World's a Stage, which doesn't explain where the audience sits. However, on the world stage, it seemed that the audience were only interested in one royal player, Princess Diana.
After a quick peck on the cheek, time for some intelligent comment.
It's just so beautiful. I'm just so privileged. I can't believe I did that.
Was she as pretty as you expected her to be?
Oh, prettier than ever. More prettier than ever.
But there was a time when Charles was in high demand for public osculation. That's kissing to you and me. Whether it was on the beach or in the street. Or even on the ski slope. Bonnie Prince Charlie had the girls swooning. Some even needed reviving afterwards. Now, when we say posh, ginger and sporty, we naturally think of the Duchess of York. But no, this is the real thing, the Spice Girls. And Ginger leaves her mark. But she did at least let go. For a moment, anyway. Now, let's see what happens when you put girl power together with a royal seat. As Ginger gets to leave her mark again. But at the end of the day, it was Diana who was held in highest affection. And she had something for all types.
Di, I'm here! Your long-lost sister! Hi, Di! Hi, Di! She's the Queen of Hearts! She's the Queen of Hearts! Oh, dear! Oh, look right away.
Diana's husband Charles always seems to cope well in the public spotlight, even if he doesn't always cope well with what he's doing in the public spotlight. But surely every Englishman can play cricket. Perhaps water sports are more his thing. Well, he's always got good old polo to fall back on. Oh, temper, temper. Now, despite owning a private golf course called Scotland, the Prince still hasn't perfected his swing. Whatever the event, he's always taken life one step at a time. Whoops. Whoops.
Now, what sort of an idiot can't walk up a perfectly decent set of stairs without... I still haven't mended that step. That's shoddy workmanship, that is. Now, if you want a job protecting the Queen, you either are a horse guard and you wear a big shiny helmet, or you're a household guard and you wear one of these, a big furry helmet, otherwise known as a bear skin. Now, of course, there's no danger of the Queen these days being attacked by a wild bear, since they all died out about the same time that these hats became fashionable. Now, despite their heavy uniform, you can tell that these guys always look calm, cool, and collected, don't they?
There is something not quite up to standard here. Watch the trooper on the front left and try to guess what it might be. We'll come back to him later, but meanwhile, here's another trooper who gets wrapped up in his work.
I can't see.
Get out of it. Off. You lost, will ya? Last dog that did that got made in this hat, mate.
We've already seen one trooper who had trouble with his horse. Back to this one, who had trouble with his fly.
Oi, give me a hand.
Well, how's he expected to do up his own flies wearing those great big gloves? And there we are at last, all present and correct.
Well, it's all too... Sorry? Oh. Well, it's all too easy to enjoy cheap laughs at other people's expense. So let's enjoy some more.
The preferred car for British royalty is the trusty Rolls-Royce, one of the best cars on the road, though not necessarily one of the best off the road.
Quickly, driver. Reverse now. Oh, too late, you missed him. Oh, look, up the curb. See if you can get this chap for another 10 points. Yes.
Charles and Diana have tried various forms of transport. earn some extra cash driving a bus. Charles discovers that if you don't chain your bike up, the front half of it will disappear. But all in all, they are both better off sticking to cars, which are a lot smaller here in Europe.
Over the centuries, the royal family hasn't always been universally popular. At one time, the king indulged in so much financial fraud and had so many extramarital relationships that the American colonies fought a war of independence to rid themselves of such leadership forever. Well, let's see what the royal family have been up to in more recent times.
Here is the Prince of Wales as a doting father. And here he is with his doting father, way back when England was in black and white.
And if father doesn't watch out, he'll be catching it on the chin.
How did he know that? Now here's Charles when he was, just a little bit younger.
And after that, it's the camp sing-song.
This happy couple are the Queen's parents, King George and the present Queen Mother, engaging in a spot of camp singing. Very camp.
The King and Queen are leaving England.
And here they are again, with a young Elizabeth.
And who should be more interested in where their majesties are going?
And she's practicing the subtle art of ruling on her younger sister. And some years later, we see her daughter, Anne, practicing the subtle art of kicking the dog. Yes, that really did happen. Now, one has to wonder what long-term psychological effect might result from discovering your father with a lot of men in shorts and wearing his skirt shorter than your mother's, daringly above the knee.
Behind me is the Tower of London, which was once an infamous site of execution by the axe. King Henry VIII, notorious for his drunken banquets, beheaded several archbishops, a dozen or so dukes, and even a couple of his own wives here. What a great Saturday night that was. Anyone from a commoner to a queen who had made the slightest blunder could anticipate a final diary date with Henry's fearsome chopper. Now, thankfully, of course, the axe has disappeared from modern royal life, but the blunders, they still remain.
It is the custom in the mysterious Orient to place a beautiful scented garland around the neck of the monarch, which she accepts before making the response. Which is to take it off again, but not before she takes a mighty sniff. This chap going along the line is the British Foreign Secretary, one of the top 3 men in Her Majesty's government. So you know who he is. Pity then that she doesn't appear to, nor even wants to meet him.
I don't think your wife knew who I was.
Yeah, of course you did, Mr. Churchill.
Now what's wrong? Oh, I see, the Queen's forgotten her glasses. Well, fortunately, she has remembered to bring her husband.
Going to ask my husband to read my speech for me.
Sadly for Philip, the speech opened with the words, "I, as Queen of Britain and mother of 4 children..."
As we approach the end of our tour around the lighter side of coping with the burden of monarchy, let's pause for a while and consider what Great Britain would be like if the House of Windsor should fall. No, it doesn't bear thinking about. Why, England without a queen would be like bacon without eggs, like fish without chips, like baseball without the quarterbacks. No, the House of Windsor shall never fall. but of course its members sometimes do.
Here's Fergie, for example. The art of being a royal is much like acting. You have to be able to walk and talk while not bumping into princesses. Sometimes the mere presence of Prince Charles can make knees go weak. Even an innocent pleasure such as singing for royalty is fraught with danger. Charles may have people falling over in 2s or 3s, but it takes the Queen to cause a mass collapse. You lot in the top left corner, could you sing a bit lower?
Well, that's just about it from Royalty Bloopers for now. But before we go, let's just take some time to think exactly what the royal family means to us here in Britain. Well, they mean dignity and pageantry and grand state occasions. But perhaps most of all, they mean posh people in silly hats falling off horses in public. We're so very proud of them. And so, from the heart of Royal London, it's goodbye. And thank you for watching.
And this morning, we had a slight problem. It's not a problem. This small snapshot I wonder whether somebody's trying to tell us something.
I only hope that you've enjoyed yourself. Have you? Well, thanks for sounding so bloody enthusiastic. What have you been doing in here all day? Have you been watching it? What did you think of it?